Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Larwin here once again with another fragrance video. This video is going to be a spring recommended fragrances video. Now, notice I did not say top spring fragrances. Why? Because, well, there are a lot of fragrances that I haven't tried, and so I don't want to say like a top whatever video, and there are like hundreds of fragrances I haven't tried yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm calling these the best or the top. I don't think it would be fair. At the same time, though, I've been into fragrances for quite some time now. I've tried probably everything that you can find at a designer store counter, the Macy's or Bloomingdale's, whatever. But the niche fragrances, I haven't gotten into a lot of the citrusy ones. The Orientals, I've gotten into like a lot of the gourmands and stuff like that because that is my forte. I love Orientals, gourmands, stuff like that. But the citrusy, there are a lot of uh, niche fragrances and fragrance houses that I haven't really gotten into. The Montals, Healy, I guess has a few. I haven't gotten into a lot of those, so I don't want. It's not a top or best, but these are fragrances that I own and some that I don't own that I'll recommend at the end. But the 10 that I'm recommending, the ones that I'm speaking about, are from my personal wardrobe. Okay, so let's just get it started. Perry Ellis Man. Okay, when I first started doing reviews, I told you guys that I wanted to kind of highlight fragrances that don't get a lot of shine. And this is one of them. This is one that I think is pretty good, and it doesn't get a lot. I don't hear a lot of chatter on this one. It's a little dusty, by the way. I should have wiped it off probably before I showed it to you guys. But this is a bottle. It's a nice bottle. Nothing special, but that's Perry Ellis Man. It came out in 2008. It's kind of fruity, kind of vanilla. It's oriental, but to me, it smells kind of floral. It smells kind of floral. I remember when I first tried this at a Macy's. I was just kind of walking by and I said, "Oh, something from Perry Ellis." One of my first few fragrances was Perry Ellis. I said, "Let me try it." I sprayed it and I was like, "Hmm, this is actually good." And I went to another Macy's later on, and I put it on my skin, and it was consistently. I tried it several times on my skin, and it was consistently good, and I just found it consistently pleasing. So it's sweet. It's got something in it that's kind of floral to me. I was on Base Notes. I was looking at some of the reviews. Someone mentioned rose. I don't know if if it's a rose, but there's something that's kind of floral about this one. Um, Apples. You may get apples. Warm woods. It's got kind of like an apple kind of woody thing to it. It's sweet, not too sweet though. Usually in the spring you think, or spring summer you think like citruses, but this one is warm. It has a warmth to it, and I don't know. I like it. Some of the other notes though: apple, amber, black patchouli, and I mentioned the warm woods before. So you guys definitely give this one a try. I'm not saying go buy it, but if you go to like a Macy's or something like that and you see it, give it a try. I highly recommend it. And I have gotten compliments on this. My mother, I hugged her one day and I was wearing it, and she's like, "Oh, you smell nice." And I remember I went to my best friend's house. He knows I'm into fragrances, but he never really asked me about my fragrances. But I was wearing this one, and he's like, "What are you wearing?" And I'm like, "Do you like it?" He's like, "Yeah, it's nice." It's Perry Ellis Man. So you guys give it a try, okay? All right, so that's number 10. Number 9 from the Burberry house, Burberry The Beat. Now this one I've been back and forth on, and like a lot of my fragrances, it's like you fall in and out of love with them. It's natural. It's gonna happen. When I first got it, I thought it was all that. Um, Over the course of time, I was like, I've been kind of back and forth, but I think it's definitely worth a try. It's to me, I got citrus and pepper. A lot of people talk about how much pepper you get off the top, and it is peppery, but I find it citrusy. You get some violet leaves too. It kind of reminds me of Gucci Palm too. like the violet. That's also in Gucci. You kind of get that too. It's almost tea like too in a sense, but not so much. But you may get like a little bit of tea from this too. But you get the violet leaves. The middle notes are, well, bourbon. I don't know if I necessarily get that, but and the base is leatherwood. Leatherwood. I think you may get like a tinge of leather at the base, but this one is really smooth. It's really kind of, the pepper's kind of, it's kind of cool. You know what I mean? It's kind of like ginger. Kind of has that, like, to me it's like a cool kind of aroma. The peppers, the pepper is kind of balanced with the citrus, and that makes it just kind of cool and fresh. So consider it, you guys. I think it's worth consideration. Okay, so moving on, we have something from the Hermes line. This is Hermes Concentre the orange Verte, something like that. Okay, it's by Hermes. This one I remember trying, and like upon initial application, I was like, actually I didn't put it on my skin, but I put it on the tester strip, and I was like, wow, this is kind of strong, kind of powdery. Smells kind of like old school, or something maybe like an older person would wear. But the scent was different. It wasn't like the other citruses that I've tried. They're just pleasant, just like nice and pleasant, kind of airy, kind of light. This one had depth to it, and texture almost. This one has grapefruit and orange. It's like grapefruit orange. It's a nice citrusy scent. I do think that it's good for maybe the office. Um, it's good for maybe like more like, it's like a formal citrus in my opinion. The grapefruit adds some like seriousness to it for some reason, mixed with the, I said orange, but it's more so maybe tangerine. But it's a good fragrance. It's fresh. I could definitely see one wearing this in spring, maybe spring more so than summer, um, because it does have some presence to it. But it's good. Give it a try, you guys. Okay, so that was 10, 9, 8. That was 8. So number seven. You guys may recognize this bottle from, if you guys are subscribers of Mark or Robes '08. He mentioned this one in his, I think, top 10 like compliment getters. Um, this one was my favorite fragrance at one point. It was my favorite at one point, a few years ago. I remember when I first discovered that one. I was leaving Macy's. I was there sniffing up fragrances for over an hour, probably closer to 2 hours. I was just kind of disappointed because I didn't see anything that really stood out to me. And one of the sales associates says, "Hey, are you looking for something? Do you need any help?" I'm like, "I'm just looking for something different." Da, da, da. And they let me try one thing, and then finally I tried this one, and I was like, "Wow, this is different," and I like this one. When I first got this, I wore this an awful lot in the summer and spring, and I mean, I thought it was just beautiful in warm weather. And I didn't like when the fall and the winter came around. I didn't wear it that much, and so I kind of fell out of love with it. But when Mark mentioned this one in his top 10 compliment getter, I said, "Wow!" Like, 'cause the thing about Ferguson is like you have to trust your taste, because sometimes you'll fall out of love with the fragrance, and you'll wonder, you'll start questioning yourself, like, was it really that good, or like, like, you might question the fragrance, and I guess you have to understand that you're gonna fall in and out of love with the fragrance. Um, so because you start disliking a fragrance, that doesn't mean it's not good. Okay, and so I stopped wearing it for a while, but then um, when I would wear it, I would enjoy the experience. So definitely, it's how do I describe it? This one, at first, it kind of reminded me of like a, I'm not even sure how to describe this, but it's nice. It's not very citrusy. It's got some vanilla and stuff to it. It's kind of creamy. It's um it's a nice fragrance. So you guys definitely check that one out. Okay, so that was 10, 9, 8, 7, and this is 6. This is Burberry for Men, formerly known as London, but this is just Burberry for Men. This one has, let me see, what are the notes in this one? I think I wrote it down somewhere. Okay. Um, Actually, the notes are actually on the back of the bottle, which is interesting. Top notes of bergamot, lavender, thyme, and mint. The heart notes are geranium, sandalwood, and moss. The base notes are amber, tonka bean, and cedarwood. That's why I didn't write it down because it's on the back. But this one I think is really good for the spring. It's kind of formal though. It feels formal. It's like this one was one of my like ultimate kind of white shirt kind of office type of scents. Um, it's kind of citrusy in a sense. I think it's classified as a woody aromatic. But I get citruses. And it's some people say they get mint from this. I don't really detect a lot of mint. It's kind of woody maybe, but it's vibrant though. It's a nice, fresh, clean, vibrant scent. So I definitely recommend this for the office. It reminds me in a sense of Dolce and Gabbana Pour Homme. It's not necessarily um, like very similar, but it's like wherever you could wear that, you could wear this one too, and you could probably throw Creed's Millesime Imperial in that same category. You can wear all of those almost like interchangeably for the same occasion. It's fresh. You can wear this with the t-shirt maybe, but I look at it as more of a formal scent. I like to wear that when I'm in like a nice crisp white shirt, nice slacks. It's a vibrant scent to me. Okay, this next one, number to 98765, number 5. You guys probably haven't seen this one anywhere because you can't even really get this in the states. This is Jacques Bogart's Arabian Nights. Okay, I love this bottle. It's bold. Look at that gold. It might remind you of Paco Rabanne's 1 Million. And then you have the black bottle, and then in gold Arabian Nights. This one is very clean. This is one of the cleanest fragrances that I own. Um, it reminds me of like pool water. Okay, and you may think to yourself like pool water, like that's not a pleasant smell, but like that cleanness of like when you go to the pool and like and you leave the pool and you're smelling like just like kind of like chlorine and fresh water, that smell, that's kind of what you get with this one. I mean, it's very clean. At first, when I first tried this, I thought it was like a little pungent, but that's just kind of like how fragrances kind of balance themselves out because you have to kind of have something pungent to balance out that freshness or cleanness. So it may start off like a little strong, but let me tell you, this one lasts forever. It lasts forever. Like some fragrances, like Yope or Jupe, it's spelled but it's pronounced Yope. Notorious for their longevity. Some people talk about Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Mans. This one will last you easily, I don't know, over 15 hours. Okay, you spray this one and it's just with you. Okay, but it's really clean. Some of the notes in this one, the top notes are cardamom, cumin, petit grain. The heart are patchouli, precious woods. The base is um, white musk, cedar, vetiver, and moss. All I know is this one is really clean. It's really clean. You guys, if you want something different, give this one a try. Wow, I've been talking for 14 minutes. Okay, moving on to number 4. You guys will recognize this because this is my favorite fragrance. It's my favorite fragrance of all time. Amouage Reflection Man. Now, I wasn't sure about putting this one in my top 10 only because when I think of this one, I don't necessarily think of spring. I just don't. I don't think of spring. I think of like this one is very like formal. It's very formal. You're thinking like boardroom. You're thinking full suit. And when you think of the spring, you think of like shorts and t-shirts and citruses. But this one, I've seen several people mention this one in top spring lineups, and so I said, well, maybe I can. I don't know. Maybe some people will find it fitting for the spring, and I actually did wear it just yesterday at church. So I was in a full suit, and so this one I would recommend for a spring formal. This is the one that it's springtime, maybe even summer, and you're dressed up. Okay, okay. This is the one you want to go with. What does it smell like? Actually, I didn't. Originally, I didn't really get a lot of pepper from this. Like that wasn't like a prominent note. But yesterday I wore it, and I'm like, it starts off with a bit of pepper, but it's smooth. It's like it's got vetiver. It's got some vanilla and some other stuff in it. Um, Sandalwood. It's got a smooth sandalwood in it as well. This one is just nice, so I would recommend that as a nice formal wear. Okay, my top three. I'm gonna try to make this quick. My top three. I'm not even gonna say a lot about this one. Gucci Pour Homme 2. You guys check my review on this. I could wear this all year round easily. Beautiful fragrance. You get some tea. Some people say like chai tea. You get a light cinnamon. It's just a nice, beautiful fragrance. I don't have a lot clearly because I love it. And really, if I wore it as when it put it like this, if I wore it whenever I wanted to wear it, I wouldn't have any more of this. I would be on my maybe third bottle. I mean, I had to kind of tell myself like, wear your other stuff. You have all these other fragrances. Wear something else, because I always wanted to wear this. This one is just great in the spring, great in the fall, summertime. I mean, you can pull this off in the summer too. It's not very loud. Beautiful fragrance. Okay, my top two. My top two. Okay, my top two. They actually could be twins because they share a bottle. They are they're flankers to the Cartier, the original Cartier Declaration fragrance. This is number two, Cartier Declaration La Essence, and number one, and I did a review on this one, Cartier Declaration Cologne. I love the two of these. The La Essence is um, the La Essence is from that one you get orange. You get like a nice, almost formal orange. It's not necessarily just orange, but it's like a citrus. You get a nice citrus from this one. You could definitely wear this one with a t-shirt. But the thing about it is, it feels very fitting for even um, for like formal wear. Like this one, I feel like you can definitely wear this with a nice dress shirt, nice collared shirt, slacks. I've worn this one to church actually in a full suit. Um, I felt it was very appropriate. It felt good, and it's just a nice fragrance. It's a nice fragrance. This is by the same person that made Thierry de Hermes, and in my opinion, this one is like everything that is plus some. Okay, so I strongly recommend that one. And then the number one, I think I did a review. I did do a review on this one, and this one you get citruses and ginger. Okay, the ginger is just so cooling. It's so it's just fresh. It's a fresh. It's a nice. I mean, this one it reminds me of in a sense of Izzy Miyake because you kind of get like the lime, but that ginger added to it is just different. I don't really, I can't really recall another fragrance on the market right now that has a strong ginger base like this one. I mean, and that's what makes it so unique. I mean, you have tons of citruses. A lot of people talk about like Versace's Eau Fresh or whatever, and like I mean, there's just millions of citrus fragrances, but this one is citrus plus ginger, and that to me makes it. I mean, it's just so appropriate for the spring and the summer. So that's my top 10. I did want to also mention um, some fragrances that are very popular, and I would never own them because of their popularity, but they're really good fragrances, and and for that reason they deserve notable mentions. Um, Jean Paul Gaultier Le Mans. Everyone knows about this fragrance. You could probably wear this one all year round, not necessarily just spring or summer. But though it's a good fragrance, and I think it's pleasant in the summer. Izzy Miyake, I mentioned that a second ago. The lemon in this one is, I mean, it's fresh. It's a fresh fragrance. I can't take anything away from the fragrance. It is very popular. The ones I'm naming now, if you want to stand out, if you want to be unique, I would not recommend these fragrances because every other guy that walks by you, you will smell this on them. But they're good fragrances. So Izmiyake, I do recommend that. Curve. Surprisingly, Curve. I know a lot of people can't stand Curve, probably mostly because of his popularity. But I've smelled Curve on several guys. I mean, it's hit me, and I'm like, wow, what are they wearing? I'll ask them. They're like Curve, and I'm like, are you serious? You know, it's I can't lie. It's Curve is a good fragrance. It's a good fragrance, so I'd recommend that one as well. Of course, Creed's Millésime Imperial. This one is on my maybe to buy list. At one point, it was on a definite to buy list. Um, it's good. It's good in the spring and summer. It's got a nice watermelon, nice citrusy thing going on. It's light. I heard it's a huge compliment getter, so I'd recommend that one as well. And for whatever reason, I actually want to recommend Jupe. I know, or Yope. To be honest, and I know some of you guys may be thinking, okay, that stuff is way too strong. Why would you recommend that for spring and summer? But um, upon light application, you can probably pull this one off. It's very nice. It's very fragrant, sweet. Um, I think that it would be. I think you could pull it off in the spring and summer. So I'm gonna recommend Jupe for a possible spring and summer wear, and also Dolce and Gabbana Pour Homme. I mentioned that earlier. I think you can pull that off probably more so in the spring, but really that one I think you can wear that all year round. So that's those are notable mentions. Okay, all right. So this video is 22 minutes long. I didn't mean to babble this long. um, Pardon me. I hope you guys take my recommendations into consideration. Okay, everything I listed is definitely worth trying. Okay, gotta wrap this up. Um, Take care. Smell good this spring and summer. All right, don't overdo it either because the weather's warm. It will project. So, all right, you guys, take care. Bye.